All right. It is dusk on White Night, the New Year's Day, over New Year's Eve of the Aventian calendar. Uh, the three moons are already high in the sky, even as the sun is just beginning to diminish. The Azure Moon, the Ruby Moon, and the Verdant Moon, uh, all shining brightly with their red, blue, and green light mixing to create a very, very bright nighttime lit in nearly natural light. You have been invited to the Gnolls seeming tradition for this year on Bloody Hill. You have been given front row seats paid for by your host, Blood Gargle, killing the seat's prior occupants. Uh, they are just like wrought iron, like metal chairs, you assume forged out of the black blood metal that everything else seems to be made of. They're not exactly comfortable, but they're there. And a few of them are very slick with blood from the prior inhabitants. But yeah, you are sort of sat down. Uh, Refreshments are sort of passed around, just like uh, little like packets of just dried beef or dried meats and stuff. I don't think anybody's ever asked what kinds of meats they're serving here, but they're still passing it around. Uh, as the play is ready to begin, and the crowd sort of falls into sort of like hushed anticipation, with a few conversations being shouted down by larger gnolls telling people to be quiet under threat of death, and a few pained whimpers of people who don't be quiet fast enough being silenced forcibly. Uh, does anybody have any sort of thoughts, any things they want to do as they're sort of settling in to view whatever this ends up being?
I'm respectfully quiet.
Galahadran, what is... You are from a very different culture here. What is your expectation of what a theater play will be?
Plays are things of indirect violence. They usually are built to annoy or provoke a reaction from someone out of the audience, or uh, used as a distraction for some other plot that will happen in the vicinity. It's not uncalled for violence to happen in a play. I mean, that's kind of a part and parcel of the theater, stabbing and things.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's drama.
Cool. And I believe... I don't know. Abel, Alina, have you guys been to any plays before? I guess Phelan as well. I'm not sure if you've been in a city to go to a
I
play
have
before.
not.
What?
Alina would have.
If there's plays
Well,
in
what
the
are...
West, then yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a theater troupe, just like your standard sort of like pre-Shakespeare-ish theater thing.
I think
What are...
Abel's probably expecting, like, I mean, it's a religious holiday, right? So like he's probably expecting something like a nativity play, but maybe more violent, because he's observed that the Gnolls are generally much more violent just as a matter of course. So he's interested, but maybe a little bit worried that he's going to watch several people die tonight that really don't have to.
They get to die tonight.
Yeah. So he's a little bit nervous about that.
Alina?
She's excited now that she's seen like some of their other like holy traditions, like the crafting, I think it's called
The Calling.
the calling. Thank you. She is. I don't think she knows what to expect. I think it's one of those things where she is fully open and ready to accept whatever happens.
Phelan? What are your expectations, having never seen a play for one
Having
that
never
is put
seen
on
a
by
play,
Gnolls?
I assume I'm genuinely bracing for like just shy of a Coliseum battle. Like I have
Alright.
no idea what's coming. I've never seen a play, so I don't have anything to base it off of. I've been told that plays are staged entertainment, and I know Gnolls know well enough to know it's combat. I assume we're just going to watch staged combat.
And Marrow, are you paying attention?
No.
Yep, didn't think so. All right. All right, so as you all settle in, you see that you are kind of off to, you're in the front row. You're not in the center. You're off to one of the sides. You see that the center seats are reserved for a group that walks in closest to the last, with two very noticeable figures. One of which is not the largest Gnoll you've ever seen, because the Ruiner corrupted blood gargle that you guys fought was just like bulked up massively. Like, they were large size. They took up a 2x2 square for their token. They were a friggin' roided up Gnoll. This Gnoll, probably not roided up. There's no sign of like demonic corruption or anything, but is almost as big as blood gargle. They are wearing a sort of like this almost the Gnoll version of like a suit of plate armor with like spikes protruding off of it and such, as they sort of stroll through to the head. Most of you would probably assume that this is, and you have been told their name before, High Warlord Cacklemaw, who is the military leader of the Gnolls. It's very easy to pick out who they are. Behind them, much, much more noticeable, probably about an entire shoulder and head taller than Cacklemaw, is a figure you've seen before. The gorilla-bodied, rhinoceros-headed Boog, one of the other amalgamated gods that you guys fought and then freed in the underground laboratory, who is walking behind, well, not only behind because they're in an aisle, and has, you see, a separate seat sort of made out for them that is more just like a long padded bench that some Gnolls have like carved various, horn symbolism and stuff into. Even patterned off, like, he's got leathery skin, almost like a hippo on his shoulders, and you can see that the chair has some of that pattern just sort of like delicately carved into it by what you can assume are his adherents. You've seen, Seymour and Squeam have their own adherents in here. It appears that Boog is mainly staying with Cacklemaw, of this amalgamated god that was taken up various properties of tenacity. Seems to be very favored by the High Warlord who leads the Gnolls in their various conflicts with the Aventian peoples, but also against the hobgoblins of the Wrathways. They take their seats, and as they do, the hush finally quiets into a still one as the makeshift stage, the curtains are pulled back. And you see that on stage there are no Gnolls currently, but there are several sculptures, scarecrows, just like these like almost artsy things that resemble intricate animals made of abstract parts. Like these Gnolls have tried their best to put together like sculptures of wood and scrap metal and cloth that resemble various animals, like a large wolf, a bear, an antelope, a snake. Like these various sort of figures there, just spread out across the stage. And as the hush falls and like everybody can see these figures, there is a Gnoll sort of draped in the same black cloth as the backdrop, sort of like walks up to the side and starts saying, it's like, Long ago, there were the gods. But then, the calamities came. And you see, as some other gnolls enter on stage, the first one is covered in this costume of vines, but also like claws and arms, like various fresh animal parts just like draped over it, almost like woven together with more fibrous vegetative materials, sort of walks up to this gazelle effigy and starts tearing it apart. A second gnoll behind them wearing a costume just like covered in twisted, jagged, sharp bits of metal that, probably were once, swords and armor and pieces of like, a house or a foundation, just like all these discarded, broken elements of workmanship, goes up to an effigy of a gorilla and starts tearing it apart, throwing its pieces all over the ground. And then a third gnoll whose costume is composed of many bones and, femurs, whole hands just like sewn across its hand, like hand bones sewn over its own hands, skulls, like 7 different skulls hanging off of it, walks up and begins tearing apart an eagle. And the 3 of these, for like a few minutes, just go around to all the various gods that are set into this stage and just start tearing them apart, ripping them. Unexpectedly, the crowd is somber for this. As opposed to like the giddy enjoyment of violence and action that all the gnolls that you've met so far have seemed to enjoy and partake in, you get this feeling that they all understand intrinsically that this is an act of desecration. This is a recreation of an event that does not warrant cheers or appreciation or anything of that sort. They do this. The narrator continues, it's like, the calamities descended upon us. But as the gods fell one by one, and could do nothing to stop them, there came one who could. And another gnoll walks onto the stage. They are wearing the gnoll's best attempt at creating a dress of a human noblewoman, with frills and pleats, but it's very roughly sewn, not very well made. It's ill-fitted to this gnoll, and they are wearing what appears to be a wig of just this bright red, like not even natural red, just like red hair. Comes up after the other 3 costume gnolls, the calamities, have finished tearing apart the other gods, and sort of raises their hand and like screams loudly and shrilly, and some mechanisms around the stage that you can tell that the calamities like take a few steps to like make sure they're in position, and then for one of them a net rips up from under them and starts dangling them from the ceiling. Another, like a box comes down and like a cage lands on them. A third, somebody from off stage like throws ropes around them, and all 3 of them are restrained by this gnoll with the long red hair. And the narrator says, after the gods had died, the usurper came and trapped the 3 calamities, preventing the total destruction of our world. There's still silence from the gnolls, just like some nods and acknowledgments. Not excitement. They knew that this was coming. They've probably a lot of them haven't seen it before because they're not a year old yet. But still, like, they're watching this play in like silence, as they would a lecture rather than a play. The the red-haired Gnoll is then joined, or then looks over at the only surviving effigy that is still left on the stage, the wolf one, that stands at like the center of the stage with the other calamities like moved around, and sort of stands next to it. And as they do, another figure walks on stage. This one, a Gnoll covered in just like a black sheet, like the narrator, like the backdrops sort of blend into it, but sewn onto the sheet are just dozens of full jaws filled with teeth. And they come out and they approach the figure playing the usurper, and the narrator says, but even as the usurper trapped the three calamities, the fourth emerged to challenge them. And they walk towards them, and the usurper raises their hand a bit but starts falling back as this figure of the fourth calamity, which you assume to be the Devourer, which some of you have seen before, raises their arms and like walks forward towards them in like a very menacing manner as the usurper falls back and back. And as the usurper retreats, they look over at this final statue of a wolf, and they kick it, and they knock it over. And the narrator says, instead of allying with the surviving god, the usurper chose to take their power to fight themselves. And the usurper then like raises their hands and starts marching forward as well, and the Devourer starts backing up far, far away until they're off stage and are sort of forced out of sight and like behind the curtains again. Thus, the usurper defended the world, betrayed the Hound Mother, and banished the final calamity. And then the usurper like stands in front of the stage and like takes hands on their hips and like looks, proud and triumphantly, sticks their chest out in this ill-fitting dress that just sags on them and stretches in different places. It is on this night, the White Night, that we acknowledge what they did to save the world, though they took it from those who had lived in it before. But it is also on this night that we remember that justice will come eventually. And then from behind the stage, the curtains all fly up, and probably like a dozen Gnolls all come running on the stage and grab the actor in the red wig and start tearing them limb from limb.
Oh, damn.
Everybody in the front row, make a dex save. DC 17.
I'm gonna get
my.
covered in blood.
Can I just create a shield?
Abel, the head lands in your lap as they start tearing this actress apart and throwing their pieces into the ground. Blood splays. Everybody gets a little bit of blood on them. But yeah.
I throw it back. I just go like, oh shit.
Yep. The crowd cheers. The crowd cheers about one of the Gnolls. Like, you throw it back. The Gnoll catches it and like throws it back into the crowd. And the Gnoll behind you like leans up over your ear and is like, "Why'd you throw it? That's the best part."
You want it? Go get it.
They leap back into the crowd. Everybody starts fighting over the head. And now there are finally, after like this long time of as a slow performance or build, there's now this release of like cheers and excitement as the play is concluded and such. The remaining surviving actors, which is everybody except for the one with the wig, come out and start bowing. They sort of, the curtains close and you can hear like a few thuds as they let the actors who had played the calamities loose from their cages and such. There's cheering, there's crying, and everybody's very enthusiastic about it. Blood Gargle sort of leans over to Alina. It's like, did you enjoy it? Yes.
I did very much so.
Ah, good, good, good. Ah, yes, now there is feast. We celebrate. Come, there's food. And the first row is let to move out first, mainly because it's filled with the gnolls who are in charge, and anybody who tries to leave to get to the food before them is probably going to die. And you are permitted to go with that pack of like leading gnolls who are filtered into a large open area where like a banquet has been filled with lots of drink and food. And Blood Gargle and Bone Chewer just basically tell you that this is for the remainder of the night. We celebrate for a new year, for a new chance at regaining what was taken by the usurper. Cheers! And they sort of force mugs into all your hands and cheers you out all violently. And yeah. So as this raucous party is going on around you guys, you can do what you wish. You can partake in it. You can discuss it. Whatever you like. Let me know.
Just doing
So
headstand.
they made the Trinity the Calamities? Trinity guys were the Calamities in that?
Are you asking me or are you asking everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
Is that a part of the...
Looks like they're saying that the Trinity are made from from 3 of the calamities.
Domesticated Calamities.
Interesting.
That's probably heresy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's almost certainly heresy.
So it'd be Progress is Felmar, Rhythmus is the Endless, and the plant one who I always forget is the Rampant.
Carrick, yes.
Carrick. I think I could remember that because it sounds like carrot.
So which one does that leave?
I will note, I'm going to assume that you guys are talking to each other for the rest of this. I will note, none of them looked like progress. The fifth, there's 5 calamities. They only mentioned 4, and you assume the odd one out is progress.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be the Ruiner then, right? Is probably Felmar. Because the Devourer got kicked out. Progress is not one of the 3. The Endless is certainly Rhythmus. That which the Rampant is certainly Carrick. That just leaves the Ruiner.
Also, the usurper had red hair. Alina, who had red hair?
Yeah.
I thought the queen had green hair. I guess I've been assuming that it was the queen.
Who did have red hair?
History check.
Well, hold on. I gotta fix my settings. I forgot to turn my hardware acceleration back on.
Oh, and you got drunk.
I'm just tired.
You hiccup when you're tired?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Right.
Setting.
I was lulled into a false sense of security. I actually thought that play would not be violent at the end, in a twist.
Well, that's your first mistake. You assumed something wouldn't be violent.
Mm-hmm.
True, it is called Bloody Hill. Alright. I'm gonna roll history. Maybe. Middle of the road.
So the first thing, but I'll just give you as a freebie, it was named Bloody Hill by the Aventians, not by the Gnolls. The Gnolls just kept on using the name.
Oh, that's fair.
So,
Well, that Bloody Hill comment was nothing. I'm thinking about red hair.
Marrow, go ahead and roll a history check for me, please, Marrow.
Okay.
Okay. Marrow, as far as you're concerned, that actress and Phelan have the same hair color.
They're colorblind. They're colorblind. Colorblind. Dogs. Dogs. Colorblind. I explained this.
Oh,
They red is green and yep.
that solves that.
But I mean, so it still begs the question, like, who is the queen that she can do this kind of thing? Like, was she just like some kind of experiment, like Phelan? Does that mean that Phelan can potentially bind the other calamities in some meaningful way?
What did Progress say? They were trying to recreate?
Yeah.
I would assume that the plan was already that I was going to be rebinding them. Wasn't that why why I was being created?
Yeah, but I want to like really zoom in on the word recreate. I can't tell if it's recreate the project or like I know what you must do, but I wonder her origin. Oh boy.
So just so I'm fully aware, are we under the assumption that she, like the original queen, was created the same way I was, not gifted the same way you all were?
We have no idea at this point, I don't think.
Interesting. Do we have any history on? We don't. Do we have any history on how you became what you are, Alina?
I was pulled from the ether as not a person, not a real person by any means, I guess. I don't know. I was still a
Does it seem
soul in a
real?
body, but I am real now. But from what I understand, is they have less free will. We were just born, but that doesn't make any sense. I must have done something to cycle to be to be outcasted the way I was.
Right. My
But
question is more: do we know how the knights became the knight, or just that you all got to be lucky?
I think she pulled us from the ether, pulled souls from the ether, and created us.
The queen did.
If I think so.
So, like, you and
That was
Gus are
many weeks
cousins?
ago. Well, not anymore.
Gus.
Lev, am I remembering that correctly?
Your first memory that you have is the same one as when you were awarded the weapons. Of just you remember standing in a line and being told that you are the knights who would serve under King Owen, that you would fight back the demons, that you would save this world, this is your charge, and then you were all given your weapons. That is the earliest memory that you can remember.
I meant what the Hound Mother told me. Or both the Hound Mother and Rhea. Because
You do know that Rhea said that she was created to replace you. So if you guys both came
Yes.
from the same place, then you would, the term would be created as well.
Yeah, and I was special because the Hound Mother pulled me from that place and made me something. Yes.
are
I say
spectating.
these things.
Yeah.
So you're just a perfect. This is all very diminutive, and I apologize. So you're just a perfected version of Gus?
At least originally, that seems to be the case.
Originally. Not
I'm
anymore.
Gus.
Yes. Hello, Gus. Gus gets a scritch.
Gus tries to drink the moonshine.
You can have
Oh
some
yeah,
if you want.
guys.
He dips in like one of those like little drinking bird toys and
Yeah,
falls
just
off
go-
the cup.
Bing.
No, I catch him.
I'm Gus. Oh!
Gus is very tired.
Gus is sleepy. Nothing else.
Y'all. Listen. Baby No Money went too hard last night.
He did.
Mm.
Okay, well, that's all very interesting. I don't know where I was going with my What's going on around us? Can I take a quick peek? See what festivities exist?
Yeah, there is lots of drinking, lots of eating.
Naturally.
More than a few, like, you've seen fighting amongst the Gnolls, like they literally kill each other fairly frequently, just out and about. It seems like this hostility, it's more like when dogs get really rough with each other, but they're not actually trying to kill you. Like a lot of snarling and nipping and like running in circles around each other, sort of thing. But you haven't seen a single murder yet, so like it appears to be in good high spirits. Bone Shore just kind of wanders over while you all are drinking and like notices that you guys are more like in serious conversation and just tries to get you guys to drink, and it's like, no, drink, celebrate, 'tis white night, this is good night, drink.
Respectfully, I cannot drink that.
Water?
Would love a water.
Water! Yeah, you are brought over water. It still
I'm gonna
tastes
smell the
faintly of
water
alcohol.
first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very much a grog.
We'll notice it.
But yeah, Bone Shore was like, so, how did you like?
Certainly
I would have
given us
liked a warning on the blood shower.
Oh, you did not expect.
No.
Oh, apologies. I thought that was how all plays are. That is why I sat you in front seat.
To be fair, I've never seen a play before.
Oh, okay. There's more on you than me.
Yes, I suppose it would be. Yeah.
Ah, good. Slaps you hard in the back and laughs.
1 point of damage.
No. But yes, rest of you.
It was very, very good.
it was
Very
certainly
enlightening.
thrilling and given us a lot to think about.
Ah, good. Yes.
I thought there was going to be a twist where there was no violence. Like that was the big.
That's why they get you. Originally, we used other Gnolls at the beginning as well, but that was just too much. It made the ground too slippery. Usurper's actress fell a few times, so now we use effigies, and it tricks the younger ones into thinking, maybe there's not violence, maybe this is just lame, and then that final one at the very end, it's like, finale!
Now,
This is just like
I have a question. Does the actress who plays the usurper, like, is that a role that she wanted to have?
Short straw.
Oh, all right.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is this viewed
Hey.
as some sort of honor?
I don't
No.
understand actors.
Okay.
We'd have to ask the theater Gnolls.
Yes.
An elusive bunch.
Weird people want to be things they are not. That's whatever. Every now and then, a few ones weird, but it's good. They set up entertainment for us. It is We are trying to make some culture so that the new worshippers of the Hound Mother can have something to start with. Who knows what they make when it's not Gnolls doing it anymore? But hopefully they remember our version of the story.
I think they will. That was very memorable.
Able to make a perception check. It's actually easy enough for you to see. It takes you a while. You don't see it at first, but you do realize that, like, off in a corner of the party, Meredith is there. She was not in the front row with you. She does not get the same honors, but she was there for the play. And Eleanor is just quietly sobbing into her, having not expected to see someone torn apart in front of him.
Yeah, that was definitely not a G-rated performance.
Sir Puggington is, like, trying to lift their visor to, like, calmly lick their leg, like, comfortingly, but their visor keeps on falling down because they don't have thumbs.
Yeah.
Gotta go lift his visor. Let him do the comforting licks.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think she'll soon forget that.
No.
I'm still trying to puzzle out all of the details with what we know.
Puzzle away. I will assume that unless you speak to a character or specifically to me, that you guys are just discussing things amongst yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do I notice Sir Puggington and Eleanor and stuff?
They can be pointed out to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go help Sir Puggington comfort Eleanor.
Okay. You lift his visor and he's like, "Oh, much appreciated, Sir Galahadron," and just starts licking comfortingly.
Perfect.
After a few minutes, Eleanor stops sobbing. It's just like, "Oh, hey, can I go home?" And Meredith's like, "Oh, I think we're going to leave a bit early."
Yes. Go ahead. We'll meet up with you later.
Yeah, they excuse themselves and go back to their house or hut or yurt.
I mean, are there other humans here?
There are, but no other children.
Okay. Do the other humans that are here, like, have children that we've seen around in the foreigners' quarters?
Not that you've seen. There's not a lot of them there, and by humans I mean, like, non-Gnolls. Like there's humans. There's orcs. You haven't seen nearly as many of the Iron Dwarves at this place specifically. They're not like adherents of the Hound Mother. They're mainly here for, as far as you can tell, like assisting in manufacturing and stuff, and like advisors and trades and whatnot. But there's a matter of, like, humans and orcs and Goliaths and halflings and gnomes and such. None of them, like maybe one or two, look a bit like white in the face, but most of them are like fine with it. They don't look particularly traumatized or anything. Yeah. If anything anybody else wants to do.
See, it's hard when stuff like this drops because I only have pretty dumb things to say. So I'm just sort of waiting
I mean, you can say them.
Say
Like,
maybe it'll spark smart ideas.
Gotta tame the devour. We gotta tame the devourer like the other ones.
So and make it spit up.
Yeah, that's right.
Autumn.
That's right.
I mean, so we've seen the Devourer through the portal, through the hole in the world.
Hmm.
I don't think we've looked through any other holes in the world very thoroughly, right?
it was just the one.
Yeah.
The others you closed. Well, the others that you've seen were like on a ceiling. Like you couldn't really get up to it and look.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if we've seen holes created by other calamities. I don't. I think we saw 2 by the Devourer, and that was it. And then we surmise that others might exist or have existed and then been fixed.
I believe it's only been 2 that you've confirmed seen.
Yeah. Do we know where my sister was resurrected? Like the location where that action happened? I'm pretty sure we
You
got a
would,
full confession.
yeah, he took the body back to his keep and did it, in a secure place in his keep.
Okay. We should probably check that place out for holes. Both to fix them and also because I'm curious what we'll see if we look through them. If, because for that one we should see that which does not end. But what would we see if part of it is trapped in Rhythmus? And where even are Rhythmus and Carrick and Felmar if they're not like so like in our experience we've obviously interacted with the churches, but and clerics are generally rare, right? Like actual
No,
like
no, it's each like the job of the priest of Carrick in a village is to give a blessing to the crops that tangibly makes them grow better.
okay.
Like the powers of the it's like I haven't gotten around to it as much as I wish I could have, but there just hasn't really been any time to do it because you guys are focused on the higher level things. But day to day holy magic from like priests and such is part of the backbone of events. It's why the church has so much power. Like there is like mending cantrip is very widespread amongst priests of Felmar. Like stuff to you know priests of Carrick will bless crops and it staves off disease and stuff, and it makes it so that you can grow a lot more food than you normally would be able to with the ever comparative technology of the time. And the even the priests of Rhythmus, like they mostly do accounting and bookkeeping, like non-magical stuff, but that at least the ones from the Regency are able to raise bodies into zombies. Like that's also divine magic. That's something they're doing.
Okay. So basically the whole kingdom is built on making use of the calamities at this point.
Which
It's
is
built on making
absolutely
use.
heresy.
Yeah, it's built on making use of the powers granted by the Trinity.
Who, based on this play, seem likely to have been created from the calamities by the Queen.
Yes.
But nobody ever talks to them. Like, so what I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that she created. And where they would be. Or unless... Is, like, the Regent Lord is Rithmus? That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, do you want to ask one of the speakers, like what
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's ask the speakers.
Okay. Bone Chewer's there with you, easily accessible. If you want to speak with high speaker throat scratch, you can easily get in. They're off partying much less heavily because they're still severely injured even after Alina's healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk to Bone Chewer and we can bother the high speaker if we get somewhere beyond Bone Chewer's knowledge.
Yeah, the Bone Chewer will be like, yes, yes.
So, we were just discussing the theological implications of this play. If we've interpreted it correctly, the usurper created the Trinity from the calamities?
What? The usurper trapped the calamities.
And then
is that what? Oh, do you for you, do you think Trinity are calamities? Is that? I don't know Trinity religion.
Well, I mean, it kind of lines up. So I mean, I can go over with her the 3 gods of the Trinity and their basic portfolios.
Okay, go ahead and make a religion check just to see how well you do that.
Okay. Could I get advantage or have somebody who's more knowledgeable on religion?
I have a religion.
Oh yeah, you
8?
you got a guy who.
So
Yeah, Phelan was of the two of you. One was definitely paying more attention in Sunday school.
Yeah, that's right. Phelan was paying attention in Sunday school. You do it.
Yeah, you can have advantage, Phelan.
Oh, do I need it?
I mean, it doesn't hurt, and lets me give. Yeah, so you explain it, and Bone Chewer just like listens, asks a few clarifying questions, like doesn't understand some of the words and whatnot, but it's like, okay. Why do you think those are the same? They sound like the opposite. Except for Ruiner, Maker, easy. Rampant, agriculture, okay. Endless and promises? I don't...
Well, endless and death, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because they make zombies? I did not know you all did that. That is weird. That you take your dead and make them still fight. Kind of fucked up.
We could get lost in the weeds on what should and shouldn't be done concerning death.
Gnolls wouldn't do that? If
No, they're dead. They're done fighting. They're dead. They're done. Purpose done. When you're dead, you're done. If being dead does not mean you're done, when are you done?
Well, it's the body is done. Or the soul is done, but the body can still be used.
What's a soul?
Oh Lord.
Like the part of you that isn't your body.
What? What?
Phelan, explain souls
body.
to this man.
Woman, but yeah. You will not misgender my Gnolls. The DC was 25.
Well,
they nod along after a while, like saying they forget, but you can tell from just the look in their eyes they don't know what you're trying to get across. It's like, nope, things are made. Things like they finally say, it's like, oh, so that's Is that why Gnolls are different than Avencians? Because you guys, the gods
Yes.
give you that, but we don't? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so we don't have that, so we just us. So your zombie is just our Gnoll. It dead, it's done. Yeah. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. No, our zombies are just us Gnolls.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Does not make sense with Endless, if just you have God who makes promises and people Gnolls. Now. Could be. As far as we know, the usurper said they follow Trinity, and that they had to cast down the Hound Mother so everything else could also follow Trinity and fight the Devourer. We don't really go over the Trinity and the Play because I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Well,
really a thing.
So the Devourer is the one that was left in the play, correct?
Yes, the one that came after the three that destroyed the gods.
So what happened to the three that destroyed the gods? Perhaps I missed that particular point.
Usurper stopped them.
And where are they now?
Ask Usurper.
Do we know where the usurper is?
I think Hound Mother asked Alina to find them and kill them.
Oh, beans. That means we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, not for sure at least.
This was story that first High Speaker remembered from being told from Hound Mother.
I guess I'm a little confused on the order of events here. So, the usurper came, so first the calamities came, and
Well, first world with
Right.
gods
Right.
and many peoples. Yes.
Okay, then calamities came, killed a bunch of gods. Then usurper came, stopped calamities.
Well, Usurper, we think Usurper here. Usurper follow Trinity, which is not old gods, Trinity new gods. After old gods dead, Usurper step up, strike down calamities somehow. Maybe Cage? Yeah.
So the usurper was somebody native to here. But then where does the Trinity come from?
They sort of give you like a weird look of like native to here, of like where else is here, and then they look at Galahad and it's like, yeah. Usurper, not Fey, don't think. Didn't know other places before.
Mm-hmm.
Summer thing, still weird. Yeah, Usurper,
It's
where
not
else
weird. You
Usurper
know
come
what
from?
summer is.
Well, wait, I'm not talking about the usurper, I'm talking about the Trinity.
Oh, sent Usurper? Trinity came with Usurper, Usurper came with Trinity. They same thing as far as we concerned.
Or maybe it's just like power stealing, right? Right? Maybe
Well,
usurper took the power from the calamities and then handed it over to the Trinity.
maybe.
Similar.
I don't know where they got power to stop calamities without Trinity. Never thought of why or how, just assumed Usurper, Trinity, fight calamities.
What if the usurper was just a very good wizard?
I don't know wizards.
Yeah, I don't know wizards either. He's not a wizard, by the way. And
But I really don't know wizards.
yes, maybe she was a wizard, had a lot of books, and just had so much knowledge.
Maybe ask
Like
wizard.
so much. In fact, there are wizards that sometimes go from places that are even farther than Summer, somewhere else. They can kind of a light on an area. Perhaps it's one of those wizards, the wizards that kind of have spark of magic. You can take them lots of places.
All I know is what has been passed down through speakers. That old gods dead, usurper step up, strike down with Trinity, strike down calamities. And
I think we should ask the other wizards how to summon this wizard. Then we can ask them as a primary source.
Do you know wizards?
No, but I'm pretty sure they live in a tower somewhere in one of the cities. Wizards love towers. Being away from the ground makes them feel like... I think the ground maybe turns off magic a little bit. So the higher you are up in the air, the better your magic
Makes sense. Hound Mother is goddess of ground, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, too bad we are not fighting Basmar anymore. Could try and throw dirt at wizards to make them stop.
I think it would. I mean, I've seen when we, I think we briefly fought a wizard. I think getting dirt in their eyes does stop them from being able to see you. They can't do some spells if they can't see you.
We'll make note of that for when usurpers attack us after peace.
Oh, that's not very optimistic.
They're usurpers.
What if they have turned over a new paw?
Would be weird.
Yeah, but possible.
Maybe. Problem for later. Peace now. But yeah, no, that is how story we were told from first high speakers and passed down.
How long ago was that?
What does a soul taste like?
Can't say I've ever eaten one.
Did you start doing this play immediately after the first high speaker got that story?
No. Made Bloody Hill first, and then started play soon after. So first White Knight, that Bloody Hill was a city. First few years after Gnolls and High Speaker started, Gnolls had to drive usurpers out of the area. Then we made Bloody Hill, and then we make play.
I need to look at the timeline again. So, Bloody Hill is the first established, like, this is the source of the Gnolls.
Yes.
And they're created by the Hound Mother.
Yes.
Like, the first ones would have been created by her directly.
Yes.
So...
And we saw in her vision, when we drank the forbidden alcohol, that she was ripped into being physical at some point. So she was kind of there, and then forced to be physical.
But the Gnolls appeared basically at the same time that Avency fell, and the Regent Lord appeared, right?
Yep. Avency fell in 585. Gnolls overran the Gnoll lands in 587. The Avency Regency was 630.
Okay.
So about 50 years afterwards.
So, I wonder if... Yeah, and the Northern Garen Woods starts turning into the Wrath Wastes 10 years later. I wonder if so here's my theory. Something happened in 585 that weakened all of the imprisonments enacted by the usurper, both on the Hound Mother and the Calamities. Because like all of these things were imprisoned by the same power, and they all seem to have broken out about the same time. Ishvalia fell in 817, but for how long before that was the west, like, half of it full of beasts? Do we know?
Phelan can make a history check if he wishes.
I got. Maybe.
So you paid a lot less attention to Elvish history, but you do remember them saying that defending, like I showed you the map where it's like the river for Ishvalia separating the Lost Woods where all the monsters used to be that they hunted. That was a slow trying to hold them back on the side of the river for a long time, but once they crossed the river, it fell fairly quickly afterwards.
Gotcha.
Like once the river barrier was broken, then the elves just folded.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is like when it initially appeared in the Lost Woods. Like, how long have the Lost Woods been lost?
Well, the Lost Woods were hunting grounds, like traditional, like predator style.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd go over to the other side of the woods and they would find monstrous beasts and they'd like hunt them for trophies. Like that was elvish that was wood elf warrior culture, was going over there to prove yourself and coming back with a big trophy. And Phelan would not know how long ago that started. That was just like this is what our people used to do. So.
Mm. But yeah, it does feel like the more I learn that all of these different threats are somewhat related.
Mm-hmm.
That the Ruiner is probably imprisoned somewhere in the Wrath Wastes. The Rampant is probably imprisoned somewhere in Ishvalia. And then let me look at the campaigns. Unless, because it literally is called that which cannot be contained. Unless it was never actually contained. Trying to piece all this together. I feel like I don't have all the information I need.
Alina, do you remember ever knowing more about this? Truly, it must have come up. Alina might be asleep.
I was about to say, I think Alina died.
Oh, shame. I'm just sitting here drinking, enjoying you guys trying to puzzle this out.
I hope Summer didn't do anything for this.
Oh, what do you
Sound
think
like
Summer would have done for this?
I don't know, but story-wise, I can feel in my guts that when something like this happens, you know when you read a lot of murder mysteries and you sort of know how stories go, it just feels like Summer must have done something, even though I don't have evidence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. If you feel like all the threads are coming together except for one, then yeah, the odd man out. However,
Hang on.
Boneshore is like looking at Phelan, just like desperately curious over what its soul tastes like.
The problem is, I think I can, in fact, answer what a soul tastes like. I just don't think I haven't told anybody that I can, with one exception. So I'm not going to answer that.
Can I see the world map, please?
Yes, you may.
And Felmar, we also know, is a pre-existing deity of the dwarves, right? The dwarves.
From what you know of the Dwarven Pantheon, is there used to be 12, and then after Aventicum and Vitrinity and like all the after all the stuff you saw in the play, there is now just one, and they just worship Felmar, as far as you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 12 ish
There were 12.
knights. There's 12-ish knights. What if Ilena's a dwarven goddess?
An
Of
interesting
halberds.
theory.
I whisper to Ilena as she sleeps, you could be a dwarven goddess of halberds.
In the religion section, the Old Dwarven Gods, history speaks of an old dwarven pantheon of 12 gods, but the majority of them have been lost and forgotten. The only one who remains is the Maker, who is the only member of the Trinity that is worshipped by dwarven society. Most of the old shrines to the rest of the dwarven gods have since been converted, either towards worship of Felmar or towards other secular purposes. The only remaining temple to the pantheon is located in Shirendun, and is filled with 11 broken statues surrounding the remaining one of Felmar. Shirendun being the northernmost one at the...
Yeah. Looking at it. I'm just trying to piece together the campaigns. Because according to the history of the Knights Eternal, there were Gnolls prior to the imprisonment of the Hound Mother. Because that's the whole reason that the knights campaigned against them.
Mm-hmm. And then, because Alina's asleep to point this out, you remember that in Alina's vision, where she was expecting to see Gnolls in the negotiations with the Hound Mother, was instead orcs and humans riding wolves.
Yeah. So maybe we'd ask Bone Chewer about that. That according to our history, Gnolls lived in the Gnollands prior to the imprisonment of the Hound Mother. Does that line up with their own history?
Never asked. I first High Speaker was after fall of Empire, where we could push back on Aventicum, I believe. Could have been before, but never thought to ask.
Because the campaigns, I'm looking at the campaigns here, and the Garen Woods. So you can see my screen.
Yep.
So the Garen Woods used to be all over here, right? The
yes.
Wrath Wastes all used to be the Garen Woods.
All of the forests around where like Garen Dune is.
Yeah. So when it talks about having a campaign to protect the Garen Woods, Actually, there wasn't any war there. So,
Ah, she returns.
oh, is she back?
Maybe, or just her
Her mouse.
like. She wasn't in the Discord for a bit. Now she's in the Discord again. So
Oh, I don't know. Because I'm just thinking, because the campaigns don't line up. If we think that the Wrath Wastes are where the incursion from the Ruiner, like, if the Ruiner is in the Wrath Wastes and the Rampant is in the Lost Woods, then they wouldn't have been, wouldn't have been part of Owen's campaigns. It would have only been the Endless, but the Endless isn't even mentioned. Um,
I will say for certain, but Owen did not cross over the mountains into Ishvalia, let alone go across the river for Lost Woods.
yeah, yeah, definitely that. It says that they allied with the Goblin Kingdoms where the Wrath Wastes are now, it seems. Which would imply that they weren't, like, under the control of the Ruiner at that point. Does it say specifically a Hobgoblin Kingdom, or is it a...
You would know that the hobgoblins. You would now know that hobgoblins are more specifically demonic, corrupted goblins.
Okay.
That was something that the prince and princess told you.
So... hmm. I feel like there's history before with, like, containing these things that we're not seeing.
I will, as a reward for like a bunch of cumulative good history checks. Uh, One implication from the Gnolls play is that a world and society and civilization existed before Aventicum, and the campaigns of King Owen are the earliest history that Aventicum teaches.
Yeah. Well, we've tried to find history from before that, but we haven't been able to so far.
Yeah. And the Gnolls added nothing to that.
Right.
Besides just like, gods existed, then they died, that was the beginning.
Yeah. Because he wins the crown of Avency. Gathers, and then... Because what I'm wondering is basically, is there, like... we also know from Eilena's visions that Owen, like, the campaigns that we know of Owen are not, like, the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've said there's been multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if basically the usurper goes around and sets, like, either finds a king or, like, makes a king somehow and their knights and sets them out to do things. So, like, these campaigns specifically feel like they're meant to destroy the old gods, right? Because, like, the only people they attack are ones that are, like, worshipping. Let's see. So the first campaign is just like them getting their power base.
But when you put it that way, it doesn't sound very heroic.
No.
I also, not to refute or like say anything against what you're saying. I just want to be clear. The different, like, Alina knows that there were like repeated things in her memories. It was all always the same people every time. So I know you said the usurper. It looks like the usurper is like finding kings to do things for him. It's like it was always Owen. In all of Alina's memories, it was Owen and it was the knights, and they're all the same people. Like they're not. Yeah, just wanted. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if you were implying something like that.
Okay.
So.
Let me look. Do we know anything about Owen besides what's in this little blurb under his picture here? Like, there we go.
I mean, you've heard a lot about Owen. What are you specifically interested in?
Like, he's basically, like, it says that he got his knights together and one basically became emperor of Avency because he defended the land. But, like, generally people like that start out with some kind of title, but I don't see anything like that here. Like, it's just he is around, he has some knights, and then they start conquering.
Yeah, that's the start of it. I will also note he became king of Aventicum, and then he left and put somebody named the Emperor in charge in his stead.
So, like,
But yeah, there's
okay.
no the first mention that you have of him from both the history and from Alina's memories is this guy was here, he was backed by the Trinity, they made him king. And that's the start. That's the starting point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like they're like the usurpers, Pokemon team or something, where they pull them out, they go around, they conquer from square one. Like, I don't know how, like, they must build up some kind of territory at some point, and build armies that aren't just them. But how they get the ball rolling is another question entirely.
By the way, it looks like Vagabond's internet died, and she's going to take that as a sign to go to bed.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because so basically I'm thinking, and I'm trying to remember what did we learn. So we learned about Marchesa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any more details about her. I don't remember exactly. This is just somebody we only know of from Eilena's memories, right?
Yep. Well.
I had nothing open on my screen.
Yeah. Did I show it? Yeah, it's just from. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just a memory. You guys can go ahead and do history checks for Marchesa. I'll do one for Alina. Actually, no, Alina wouldn't know. Otherwise, she would have already made the connection. Oh, Marrow, you've never heard of this person before. You don't even know why they're asking you.
I'm helping.
Sounds like a kind of cheese.
Listen, I'm helping.
Galahadron
appreciate
certainly
the
wouldn't
help.
know, but Abel, if you want to make a roll.
Sure. For all the good it'll do. Nope.
No.
We're all just huddled in the middle of the party, thinking.
We know how to have a good time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I said Mara was doing keg stands and nobody responded to that.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I
Marrow's
didn't
doing
hear
trick
it.
dance. There are
Ooh.
Gnolls who are happily just holding their little feetsies up to do keg stands. Yeah, Marrow's enjoying the party. Everybody else is just lost in post-theater contemplation.
Somebody's got to be having fun around here.
Well,
Listen,
Dirt
when
and
someone
Scrap
gets mauled
are just
to death in front of you, you contemplate it for a while.
Dirt and Scrap are getting just all the food and scritches they could possibly want. Even at the risk, there's like Gnolls are trying to pet them and like coming back with burns and like lacerated hands, but they're still so happy. They get to pet like the little disciples of this new god who has showed up. Everybody's just ecstatic.
That makes sense. I would probably try and pet the dog.
I'm trying to think, because did Eilina have memories of other cycles?
Yeah.
That we know of?
Yeah, she remembered. She has had memories where various other knights have been dead or alive in different configurations. And she has that one memory that ended with Owen and the other knights pushing the demon that you saw that spoke to you through the portal opened in your aunt's chest. On the other, who was on the other side, she saw visions of him being pushed back through the portal as she herself was dying, and then the portal being closed, and Marchesa basically saying, "Let's do that again." And then Alina died, and that memory cut off. So she is fairly confident in some sort of time loop shenanigans.
Yeah, I wonder if actual time travel is involved.
I think that floating's just burned my nostril hairs off.
Yeah, it does that.
I don't think it did anything else.
I don't think it needs to do anything else. Sounds like it's got it.
I'm gonna go grab another drink while you guys muse this over.
I think we need to talk to the elves and the dwarves if we're gonna get any more information.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think the human histories are just too incomplete.
The dwarves and elves have the same gods we do, don't they?
No. The dwarves have the one god, who's the same, or at least is now. But I thought the elves are supposed to be pagans, right?
Oh yeah,
So that's the whole reason
we're
why.
slowly being converted to the same.
Right. So religion, paganism. The people of Ishvalia worshipped the great spirits of the animal who live within the forests. Of the animal singular or animals?
It should be animals.
Okay.
The one animal that lives in the forest.
That one turtle.
It
You know the guy.
I mean, that does line up with what the Gnolls had with all the animals as gods. The elvish animism.
Mm-hmm. I will note, Phelan's the only elf that you guys have seen in Bloody Hill.
Okay.
Concerning.
I mean, there's just not as many to begin with, but yeah.
Yeah, and there's other gods too along the coasts of the northern wilds. That's yeah, the Almyran highlands and the lowlands by Typhal's Sea. So here's Eilena didn't remember. Did she remember if they were always human in these visions? They were the same people, but were they always humans?
Yeah, they were always humans and always recognizable to each other. Their appearances did not change from vision to vision, besides, sometimes being dead.
Right. Because I'm wondering how does the Trinity view the gods Almyra and Typhal, or goddesses, I guess.
So that little lore document is mainly what you would have received as like a basic education in paganism, just all growing up. And they just see it as like, that's outside of Aventicuum. They can do whatever they want. They're uncivilized barbarians.
Okay.
And that's, I honestly, DC 25 history check to prove me otherwise, but that might be the only thing that you know about the Highlands and the Lowlands.
Almost certainly. Yeah, it is. Like, do the Gnolls know about those gods? Do they consider them usurpers, or are they... I guess we can ask Bone Chewer.
Yeah, you want to ask Bone Chewer?
Yeah.
Get Bone Chewer off your keg stand.
So what about... What's the Gnolls' opinions on gods other than the Trinity? Like, they're the usurpers, yeah, for you guys. Or the patrons of the usurper.
Mm-hmm.
But what about, like, the other 11 dwarven gods? Do you even...
They're dead.
They're dead, okay.
Yeah.
What about Almyra and Typhal?
Who?
Gods of people across the mountains?
Oh, is there stuff on the other side of the mountains?
There is, yes.
Some, yeah.
Oh, what are they like?
I don't know. Goddess of nature in the wilds and a goddess of storms in the sea.
So what's the sea?
It's a big body of water.
Nah, I don't like the sound of that.
It's like a lake, but even bigger.
No, don't like that. I don't know. Nature. That sounds
Okay.
fine.
What about the elvish great spirits, like the over in Ishvalia? They worshipped the animal spirits of the forest. I noticed that
Oh,
your deity effigies were all animals.
yeah, yeah. Uh, hmm. Throat Scratch mentioned something. Let me go get Throat Scratch. Actually, no. Better for us to go to Throat Scratch so Throat Scratch doesn't need to walk.
Yes, I will happily come with you to do that. Yes.
Okay. And she leads you, just weaves through the crowds. Throat Scratch! The ones blessed by the Hound Mother have a question for you. Also, do you know what an ocean is? And Throat Scratch is like, what is... No. It is apparently a large body of water. Oh, that sounds terrible. Yes. Yep, your question? You may ask them.
Well, it just got me thinking about the play got me thinking about other deities that we know about. Because like in the play, all of your deities,
Yes.
the deities that were killed were represented by animals. And
Yes.
I know the elves of Ishvalia worshipped animal spirits. Are they related at all, or are they just
Ah.
superficially similar?
So it looks contemplate. I believe the Hound Mother once mentioned that her kin used to be also worshipped by the wood elves beyond the mountains.
Okay, so they are the
I
same
do
then.
not
Did
know
we?
what they do now.
Uh,
Those gods are dead, so I do not know what they would be worshipping.
well,
Well, some of them, and he points over to Simo's like, mostly dead.
right.
Yeah,
Um, okay. And do you know about Almyra and Typhel?
Who?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be it, though.
Other gods from across the mountains beyond probably where you're concerned with.
The elf gods?
No, these would be human gods.
Oh, there are humans on the other side of the mountain?
I think so.
I thought it was mostly elves and monsters.
Well, the mountains to the east.
Oh, the other mountains.
The other mountains, yes.
I didn't think there was anything on the other side of those mountains.
I mean, according to my map and my schooling, there's at least something.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
Yep,
No, never heard of them.
never heard of them. Okay. And then, do you know what the Hound Mother thinks of the old gods of the dwarves?
I mean, they're dead.
Uh, all of them?
Yeah, yeah. I think we have spoken with some of the dwarves, and they speak of their gods as all being dead, yes.
Um, well, I was taught at least that Felbar was worshipped by them.
Oh, they don't tell the Iron Dwarfs that.
Really?
No. They you think Gnolls hate Usurper? Dwarves really hate you all. After they heard that we were making peace, uh, dwarves came yesterday, asked us not to.
Huh. Because of the killing their gods thing?
Possibly.
Um, well, hang on a minute. But we've met dwarves who like live in Aventsi cities, yeah?
You guys?
Yeah, us.
You've met Garen Dune dwarves who have chosen to leave their society and come to, Aventicum. This is the first time that you've seen Farron Dune dwarves, and the Farron Dune ones are the ones in the campaigns.
Yeah. Okay. How amenable do you think they would be to me asking about their religious beliefs? I don't want to cause a diplomatic accident.
Well, they asked if they could kill you yesterday, and we told them no.
Dwarves did?
So that is your choice.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it really can't get any worse than that. Are there,
If they try to kill you, remind them that we told them no.
Yeah.
Check
Could
that down.
I mean, would you be willing to have somebody send a message to just see if they'd be willing to talk? So I'm not just like ambushing them.
Yeah, we can try tonight. We're kind of busy partying.
Yeah, we could do it tomorrow. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And there are no elves here that we've seen.
Just those two, and points at Phelan and Galhadron.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I think he'd pointed you as well, so pointed the three of you. Or she'd pointed the three of you.
I'm sorry, do you think I'm an elf?
You smell a little like elf.
Oh, well, you've
The
got a very
different-
good nose then.
Yeah. They're just staring at you. Just like, yeah. Can you not... Can the rest of you not smell it?
No.
On him, no.
No, how do you live?
Sight and sound,
I don't
mostly.
smell.
How... What? Just sight?
I think our
I
sight
can hear.
is much sharper than yours, much like your nose is much sharper than ours.
Oh,
Like, we were actually discussing the hair color of the usurper that you were portraying. And it might not be completely accurate. We have a theory.
Why?
Well,
Houndmother said her hair is green.
yes, but the actress was wearing a red wig.
Yeah, that's what I said. We put her in green wig.
Right. Okay. The language barrier. So
Yeah, as you two are talking, everybody else is like, you can understand Gnoll automatically. You stop to think for a second of how the words are actually sounding as they leave your mouth. You're saying the same word.
yeah.
It's the same word in Gnollish.
Yeah. How can I explain this?
I don't think you can.
I think we can because they can still see, I'm trying to think about they're not completely colorblind, right? They're
I mean, you don't know.
I mean, I can ask. Marrow can tell us. Like, actually, the language itself can tell us, right? Because they'll only have words for colors that they can see. It's like if I just go through the color spec, like red, green, and blue. Are those all three the same word?
They're slightly different words, but I'll give Marrow this little cheat thing. In Marrow, oh man, because there's no concept between them. I don't think that Marrow can actually distinguish, like, sees what we see when it's like, red, blue, and yellow. But they do have different words for different shades of gray that are going to sound like the words for
Right,
blue,
okay.
red, yellow. So
Yeah.
there are a lot less words because there's a lot less variety in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about rods and cones and eyes to tell
Okay.
you where the cutoffs are.
So I'm gonna get out
It's literally there's 50 different words for gray.
Yeah, that's what I expected for the different shades. 50 Shades of Gray.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, great. Okay. So I'm gonna. Here's how I'm gonna explain. Okay, so we're gonna have to flatland this. Imagine that there's a race of
Yes.
people, and they can only see in black or white.
Okay.
All right.
No gray.
So no gray at all.
What about gray?
No gray, only black, and only white. So,
Okay.
right? So if I showed them like you, like I'll point at like if I it, anything that you show them that is, a certain lightness or above, they see as white, and anything that's a certain that is darker than that, they see as black.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So if you were to try to like show them something that was a uh, light gray and something that is a lighter gray, they wouldn't know the difference, right? They would only see white.
hmm
Okay? So
Yeah.
now let's expand that out to another dimension, right? It's like imagine, right? So,
Go where demons are. Yes.
um, so it's kind of the same thing for us and you guys, I think, where you'll look at something and you'll just see white, but we can see two different shades of gray.
Gonna make an intelligence check for them.
Nope. Okay. Let's move over to smell.
So you only see gray.
Well, no, right? Because we're a level above you in terms of like the number of the dimensions of color we can see. Um,
You know, they're focusing on you intently, but they're starting to sway, and you realize they're also a bit drunk.
oh yeah, that's probably not helping. Um, is this really important? I'm trying to. I've gotten completely sidetracked trying to explain color to a dog because I was pretty sure I could do it. And,
To a drunk dog.
to a drunk dog. But I don't think it actually advances the plot in any meaningful way.
I mean, that's up to you. Let me tell you this: it's advancing the plot more than the friggin' Golthias tree does. Let me. Actually, no. What am I talking about? You have made lemonade out of those lemons.
Yeah. The Gulthias tree is critical.
Friggin' Project Dumbo dropping a tree. Yeah, it was the hair. You were asking about the hair color.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned the hair color. I mean, it's not particularly important because as long as they're having fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I would like to speak to some pagans and try and get some cross references. And I mean, we could even like phrase it in such a way that like, um, I know that there's a animosity in history, an animosity between our peoples in the past, uh, and the great harm has been done to them, and that I'm learning that there is a lot that has been hidden from me, and I'm trying to get their perspective on what's happened. I could even say it like the Gnolls play has made me realize that there are perspectives and knowledge outside of my own experience that I should listen to. Something like that. Abel could word it better.
Yeah. I think Throat Scratch would probably respond with like, "Oh, what play do they put on in your city for White Night?"
Do we celebrate? Or we have it's the I'm trying to remember.
It is traditionally a sermon by the highest ranking bishop of each church on just like the importance of their god and what they do, and just like it's like a half-hour speech from 3 different priests, and then a night of like celebrating and dancing and feasting and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, so they don't have a play per se. They have a it's. I mean, I guess it is kind of like a play, just not with props. Which, honestly, I think I prefer the props. Maybe not the death of the actress, but the props.
They drew the short straw.
Well,
So we've heard.
yes, that's what I've been told.
And it's the actors volunteer, all with the possibility that they can tear one of them apart, and one of them just gets unlucky.
Yeah.
It is fair. Last year they got to tear someone else apart, so.
That's. Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
What about next year?
With that kind of logic,
They'll tear someone else apart.
I mean, just because it's fair doesn't necessarily mean that it's, like, good.
I mean...
Have you ever read The Lottery?
The what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. The book. You wouldn't like it.
What is a book?
Go back to color.
I mean, it's. I think the Gnolls value their lives less than humans do.
I think you're probably
we're
right.
Gnolls.
Yes. That doesn't mean you aren't, people. That you don't have value in and of yourself beyond your purpose.
Bone Chewer, who is like 2 sheets to the wind, like next to you guys, just has been drinking the whole time, is just like, tell them about the souls!
Oh, God.
I mean, this is an important theological question. Do they have souls?
What is a soul?
Do we have souls? I don't think... I'm kind of unsure on that point, actually, at this
Hey,
point.
that's actually really... We could probably get to the bottom of that. Hold on.
What?
How far away was the lady who got torn to shreds?
You were in the front row, so... You were in like a hole. You have been led away from the... Like, you're probably...
No, I think he was saying... would his ability have...
Was I close enough to eat her soul?
If you would have wanted to, yeah.
Is there a way I would have sensed that before trying?
I mean, what are you trying to see if you can eat Gnoll souls?
Yes.
You did so much of that during that
Oh,
battle.
yeah. I did that during the war. Then yes, they do have
Yeah.
souls.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you do have souls. Because, Phelan, sidebar here. Phelan,
yes.
did you tell us about the eating souls?
I have not.
I'm not sure if he told you just now. He was just musing that in his head, I think.
Okay.
I don't want to out Phelan like this. That's Phelan's call.
All right, Phelan, do you say to Abel, "Yeah, I know that Gnolls have souls because I ate them"?
That would be such a wild way to drop that on you. No, I don't believe that's how we let you know.
You need to tell me.
Oh, so that actually makes the question much more reasonable than I thought it was at the time.
No, that is not how we let you know that I'm eating souls.
Okay. Do you interject into this conversation to be like, yes, Gnolls do have souls. No, I'm not going to tell you how I know.
To the best of our understanding, Gnolls do have souls. Yes.
Oh. How do you know that?
There is, there's, as we were learning, everybody had souls, and as I grow in power, um, the connection to our minds helps. I don't understand my power well enough, but I can sense that they have souls.
Okay. Okay. I mean, with everything else you can do, you might as well be able to do that, sure. Um, I mean, do you want to try and make a deception check?
Yeah, we probably should, eh?
Okay.
You really probably should.
I'm distracted.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Abel has a lot more thoughts running through his head.
I've got
been
so many
focusing on parts
angles.
of that.
Yeah.
I don't have time to dive into whatever that is.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have time to unpack all of that.
Right. I will be keeping the suitcase though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dika is also falling asleep.
That was awesome.
Okay, so yeah, so Gnolls have souls, and therefore are not just like bodies to be thrown at a problem. They're like full-on people. I mean, do Gnolls have a belief of what happens to them after they die? Are they just dead?
I mean, yeah. Throat Scratch is like, yeah, yes. What? When you are dead, it is over. Yes, and next to him, Bone Chewer, he would explain like the afterlife too. It was like, no, the Trinity makes you do stuff after you're dead too, and then makes Gnolls from the dead ones.
Pretty much how it
Throat
goes,
Scratch
yeah.
just looks at him like, what does that even mean?
Well, it sounds like that's not actually what happens, because it sounds like the Gnolls are like more like us than you give yourselves credit for. At least in terms of
The
having
Hound
souls.
Mother made Gnolls and said that Gnolls are here to fight and kill and die in order to reclaim this land for what is left of the old gods.
Right.
And make room for new ones who worship them.
Right.
That is our purpose. Once we are dead,
well,
never really thought about it.
Yeah.
What happens when you die?
Well, according to the Trinity, those who fulfill their obligations in life get to relax and party in death, and they're served by those who broke their oaths or otherwise transgressed against the Trinity.
So, ones who party when alive cannot party when dead. Ones that serve when alive party when dead?
Yeah, that about covers it, yeah.
Seems backwards. Okay. How long do you party after dead?
Well,
how does dead end?
They didn't say. It's kind of implied to be forever.
I don't believe dead does end.
But who knows? I mean,
Forever? Mm.
Infinity?
They scrunch up their nose and like kind of sneer at them, like, ugh.
Is that even a word that exists in their language?
Not really. Like, you do your best by jumbling together something German-wise, but it's just like, how long is, like, what, 20 years?
Close, yeah.
More than whatever number you care to say.
Mm.
Whatever number you say, it's more than that.
It's a lot of partying.
It is, yes.
Too much.
That's why people are so, gung ho about it, right? They're like, well, it doesn't matter if, my life here sucks as long as I do what what I need, I can party forever after.
Yeah, but what? Why party when have no job? It is contrast between fighting and partying that gives partying. I don't like that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's losing its appeal to me as well.
Yeah, I'm fine just dead. But as long I did my purpose, I fulfilled my role. I'm good. I spoke with Hound Mother 3 times.
Mhm.
And they just smile like really proudly at that. They're doing a lot better after getting some healing, but you can tell that they're still,
Yeah,
fairly crippled.
and it's an astounding accomplishment.
I mean, Alina's healing magic.
Yep. Well, I meant more of throat scratch going down and.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but what was question before souls?
Well, because I'm trying to piece together what actually happened, because there's conflicting accounts, and there is scarce information about what the world was like prior to, King Owen.
Mm.
You know,
Hound Mother did not say much, just that there were gods, and then calamities came
mhm,
and destroyed most. And then Usurper came with their trinity
mhm,
and struck down calamities. And then another calamity came. Usurper struck down Hound Mother, then fought back calamity.
mhm.
That is what we have been told. That is what we make our play for. And then we add in hopeful thing of Usurper getting torn to pieces. But
Right.
that has not happened yet. Hopefully. Like, they make a show of, like, crossing their paws.
Yeah, how mother willing, right, kind of thing. I'm thinking.
Mhm.
I think that would really help, is knowing what the world was like prior to King Owen. Like,
The
everybody
way we can
worshipped the old
find that.
gods. it seems. But if so everybody worshiped the old gods who were the gods of the elves, who was living here.
Or the elves continued to worship those gods when other people switched to the Trinity.
That's possible. And we're pretty
I
sure
do believe,
yeah.
from Alina's memory of talking to the Hound Mothers, like the Wolf Riders, they mentioned that the people that Owen was leading had moved on too quickly for their tastes from the dead old gods to this new Trinity.
I see. And is that I'm wondering if that's consistent throughout the cycles. Like so the knights are the same and Owen is the same. Are the gods the same every time?
Alina's currently at another table knocking back drinks and probably doesn't look into shape to help you answer that question.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say is why she's not here at the moment.
I'm going to write a note to myself. Right, because I'm wondering, like, if it... So, here's a thought. I misspelled Alina's name. That's fine, whatever. She's not here to correct me.
Aelina.
Yeah,
Alina.
I'll remember who it is. I'm wondering if, yeah, but like the Knights Eternal are like they precipitate some kind of like changing of the guard of the gods, basically. Like there were a lot more gods. They all got killed. And then so we also know about this faction about the Wardens, right? We've heard about them as like the people who keep...
You've heard of the Wardens.
The calamities trapped in this world. But we don't know anything about them other than basically their job at this point, I think.
You do not. And you've heard about them from Progress, but also from some of Galahadrin's memories of the Summer Court.
Right.
Like they are known to groups who know of the wider existence beyond Aventicuum.
Right. So I'm wondering, okay, the knights are basically the wardens are like the ideal that then gets instantiated as the knights each time. And if the calamities get trapped as the gods and they get destroyed and then remade into new gods as their prisons, like they start to degrade basically from being these like benevolent gods back into the calamities.
It's a theory.
It's a theory, yeah. Like it would, I mean, it wouldn't explain. Maybe it would explain. Because like the Hound Mother could potentially be like another facet. And so that would also parallel her and Eilina as being like tools that were discarded and now kind of want revenge, having survived past when they were supposed to stop existing. But what would that make the usurper then? Like there's something that's perpetuating this cycle.
What would that make the usurper? What would that make Marchesa? What would that make Progress?
Yeah.
What would that make? What would that make Summer?
I mean, because we've never heard of Summer before Galahadron showed up.
Nope.
As like a thing. Because it also doesn't make sense, because like the Tangle also kind of fits the like MO of the Rampant as being like this dense jungle full of monsters that they battle against. This is basically just devolved into me like theory crafting, trying to reverse engineer whatever Lev's got going on here.
I'll tell you this. For at least one thing that you said across the whole night, I will give you a point of inspiration for this, but I'm not telling you for what.
You're right, but I'm not telling you where.
God damn it.
Right, it is midnight. Well, it's about to be.
And I will also note, just as a history major enjoying somebody go over this, if I were to define your main obstacle at this point, it is that you have a lot of different secondary sources from very different perspectives that disagree with each other, and really only one primary source so far, which is Alina's visions. Everything else is filtered through the people that you've gotten the information from.
Right.
So,
well, we do have one primary source very close by.
You have more primary you have more primary sources than most of the other people in this world. So.
Yeah. I think Abel might need to go to talk to the Hound Mother.
Ooh, that'll be fun for you.
Mm-hmm. Mind the teeth.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it won't do anything to me, because I'm not bound to any thing, like any of the factions that it would be trying to keep out or keep in. And so, like, I'm just a guy, it wouldn't actually hurt me.
It's my birthday. I'm just a little
guy. It's my birthday. You hurt me on my birthday. It's not my birthday. It's her birthday. It's Eilina's birthday. It's not my birthday.
It is Eilina's birthday. That's why Eilina's getting so drunk. Mm-hmm. The birthday girl. Ah! Is you see over in the corner, like Alina says, is like, it's my birthday today, and one of the others like, oh, it was my birthday too. I was just born yesterday.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
All right, good night.
So the dwarves, or yeah, so people to talk to tomorrow, the dwarves for sure. If they'll have me,
Yep.
and then I think because the the Gnolls don't really care about like if you try and go and talk to the Hound Mother, right? Their attitude is basically if you go and try and you make it, you deserved it, and if you don't, you don't.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Like they led Alina right there when you guys first showed up. So
Okay. I think I might go and talk to the Hound Mother because I want answers.
it'll be interesting.
That will be interesting. All right. I'm gonna stop the recording on that note.